This is the Snaptain P30 Pro. It's a GPS camera drone that comes with a 4K camera, 31-minute flight times, GPS positioning, up to 500-meter range, brushless motors, adjustable cameras, and they say it's easy to use. One of the great things about this drone is it does come in under 249 grams, so there's no need to do any registration with the FAA. All right, let's see what comes inside of the box. All right, included inside of the box, looks like we've got a nice carrying case. All right. One of the things right off the bat that I'm seeing that I really like is that this case is actually molded specifically for this drone. A lot of cheap drones use these foam cutouts, really cheap and inexpensive way of doing it, but having an actual case like this that's molded to the controller, the batteries, and the drone is super nice. All right, first off here, we do have our Snaptain controller. Now, this controller is basically the exact same controller as the DJI NC controller. The joysticks feel nice and high quality with the knobs that just turn right into the controller. These knobs do store nicely in the bottom of the controller, and the controller does charge via USB-C. We've got a little peel. And then on your controller here, you have your option to switch between camera mode, video mode, the speed of the drone, and your GPS option. You have your automatic propeller stop-start button. You have your camera zoom up on top here. It is just a digital zoom. And then on the right side of the controller here, you do have your dial to adjust the angle of the camera. Overall, this is a really high quality controller, but you would expect that in a drone that costs just about $350. Next up, let's take a look at these batteries. Oh, I thought this was a battery. It's actually your charger. They actually give you a really nice feeling charging dock here for your battery that shows you the battery charge state right on the side of it. This is not something that you usually see come with drones. Usually these drones, you just charge them through a USB-C port right on the side of the actual battery. But what's really nice about this specific drone is that the charging all happens through this unit here. So I keep rambling on about it, but this is just a much nicer way of charging your batteries rather than having to plug them into a USB-C port on the side of the battery. Snaptain, I like it. Keep doing stuff like this. In this case though, to charge this battery, you just plug in a USB-C cable to the side of this charging box here and then just snap the battery right into place. Continuing on here, we do have the actual drone. Let's see how it feels. How do I get these off? Here we go. Overall, the drone feels pretty good. It does have a slight rubbery-ish feeling to it. I would say, similar in weight and feel to something like the DJI Mini. You have your power button here on top of the drone with your battery indicators, your battery compartment. Ah, nice. Whew. I got worried for a second. I was worried it didn't have a micro SD card slot. It does have a micro SD card slot, but it does not come with one, so you're gonna need to provide one of these. Next up here, let's take a look at this camera. Now, this camera shoots in 4K at 20 frames per second, so a little bit lower of a frame rate than we're used to seeing on a lot of drones. Most drones aim for the 30 FPS option, but this drone, for whatever reason, aims for 20 frames per second. I wonder how that's going to affect the video quality. Overall though, nice, solid feeling drone. The hinges feel very high quality. They snap into place very well. I like the color scheme of the drone. The Snaptain logo on top looks nice and professional looking. I'm just really interested to see how good this video quality is actually going to be, but let's take a look at some of the other accessories that they give us in the box. Everything else here is just inside of this little compartment up here. So let's see what we got. We have what looks to be a little screwdriver and some extra propellers in this bag. A quick start guide, which does have QR codes in it for both iOS and Android, and a much more involved instruction manual that goes over every single feature in the drone. And we got one other thing in here, which looks to be a USB Type A to USB-C charger for both the controller and the little charging block here for the drone battery. All right, well, this is about all we can do in the garage here. I'm just gonna go top off the batteries for the controller and for the drone, and then we're gonna take this thing out and see how good the camera quality is, the video quality is, how good the range is, if it can hit that 500-meter mark that it's actually saying that this thing can handle, how much that 20 FPS affects this drone. I'm really interested in seeing that because I don't think I've ever actually seen a drone shoot in 20 frames per second. They're always aiming for 30, 60, 120 in those ranges. So I'm just really curious to see how much that 20 frames per second affects this drone, or if it doesn't really affect it at all. But all right, I'm just gonna charge this stuff up. I'll see you guys out at the field. I wonder a little bit what level wind resistance this thing can handle. If I can figure it out, I'm gonna put it up on the screen here because it is pretty windy today. We got like 10 to 12 mile an hour winds, a little bit gusty, but let's see how this thing does. Lots of tall grass. That spot looks good. All right, well, we've got the drone in the air. I'm gonna hit record here so you guys can start seeing the footage right now. All right, we are recording. I'm also gonna screen record my phone during this process so that we can also kind of get another perspective to show you guys what the actual app looks like. No obstacle avoidance, so I do have to be careful about some of these trees. Oop. Did I hit maximum distance? There must be a beginner mode enabled. Let me bring the drone back real quick. There must be a beginner mode that's stopping us from going too far away. All right, let me look at the settings real quick and figure that out. Beginner mode, yes. All right, turn that off. Oh, that's not great. It stopped recording earlier and I never noticed it. So I only got 1 minute and 20 seconds of footage. And I only have 1 battery for this, so we gotta try to go out and get some more footage now. It's still showing us at 50% battery, which is good. Pause the video. Gotta show you guys something. Now, this drone only comes with 1 battery, which means if you're out flying at the beach or in a remote area like I am here, and you run out of battery, you need a way to actually charge this single battery because you don't want to go out fly for 20, 30 minutes and then have to go home. You want to be able to fly multiple times while you're out. I have a solution for that. Now, this is the Audrey camping fan, and what's really cool about it is this fan has a 20,000 milliamp battery built right into it. Now, that battery is not just used to spin this fan, which we can turn on here. We can get a little wind blowing, as you can see, and it's quite powerful. I have found this really nice if you're camping or if you're, just want a fan next to your bed. It is adjustable. You just open up this latch here, and then you can see this will raise and lower, honestly, as much as you'd like it to go. But let me show you what else is really cool about this fan. Not only does it have a remote that you can slide out and control this fan completely remotely, which is really cool. If you want to turn it on in the middle of the night and you don't want to get up from your bed, you can just use this little remote, which is pretty cool. But what I wanted to show you guys is that it has a little USB-C in and out and a USB type A out. And if we plug this in just like so, and we take our battery, we can, sorry for the rather low quality video here, if we plug this in, as you can see, we are now charging the battery for the Snaptain drone remotely out in the field off of our fan, and this is a 20,000 milliamp battery pack in here. So you could literally charge this battery, honestly, what, like 15 times or something like that before this battery ran out. So you could literally take this fan camping with you, which is its really main purpose, but you can actually, if you want to charge your drones out in the field with it, you can use that feature of this fan, which is honestly really cool. If this fan could help you guys in your camping or drone adventures, RC car adventures, whatever it is, there's going to be a link in the description down below where you can pick this fan up. Oh, that is super unfortunate. I've been flying for like probably 15 minutes now and the app stopped recording randomly. So let's go get a little bit more footage because we lost the footage from before. I mean, obviously I have it on the screen recording, but that footage is gonna be nowhere near as good as the footage that's coming off of the actual SD card. So we gotta try to get a little bit more footage here. I'm gonna have to look for that. I don't know if that was me or if that was the drone that stopped recording. But we're just gonna have to keep going here. That's unfortunate. Tilt the camera down a bit. Let's get a look at the barn, see how that's looking. The footage coming across on the phone is really bouncy. Obviously this drone does not have a gimbal, so the footage is not going to be super stable by any means, but I'm just curious, like on my phone right here, it's kind of bouncing around all over the place. I'm curious to see, once we actually pull this footage off of the micro SD card, how much better it is. Let's fly out here over the field for a second. It still says we're like 50% battery, so that's good. You know, you are probably going to get close to the 30 minutes that Snaptain tells you you're going to get. Let's take a quick look at the barn. Oh, that's cool. On this day, you can kind of see where the silos used to be next to the barn. That's pretty cool. It's like there's a racetrack here. All right. Okay, wow. This is kind of an issue. So, this drone works off of Wi-Fi, and I was up, I will be able to tell from the screen recording, which I'm gonna cancel now that we're on the ground safely. We were up, I don't know, 150 feet in the air, maybe a little bit less, and I lost signal to the drone. The drone was still controllable, but the video signal dropped out. When it did that, I just held down on the stick to make the drone come over, and it eventually regained signal again. But unfortunately, during that time, I had no idea if the drone was drifting away and was going to crash. That is kind of a big issue, Snaptain. I hope in the future, you know, with this controller and with this drone, you should not be transmitting that video signal over Wi-Fi. It's just, it's not good practice. You got to do like how the Snaptain Mini does, which is all, I believe, over 2.4 gigahertz, but I'll leave that up to the engineers to figure out how that stuff works. I just know that over Wi-Fi, you do have a very limited amount of range that you have capabilities over. The other thing, during that time it returned to home, it did stop recording again. So it seems to record for like maybe 1.5 to 2 minutes, and then the video recording shuts out. So that means throughout the course of this video, now if I wasn't doing my screen recording, I would have very little video to actually be able to show you guys. Like I think I only got like 4 minutes of recorded footage, which is kind of a bummer. I was really hoping this drone was going to be a lot better than this. Now, Snaptain, you guys did send me this drone. I have to be honest with the people here, for $350. Drones coming from Specta, like the Specta Mini or the DJI Mini 4K, you can find them for the same amount of money, but they have a gimbal. They have their video feeds that don't go over Wi-Fi. There's just a lot of things in here that are a little bit unfortunate. Now, thankfully, there is a micro SD card inside of this drone, so I'm not sure how much footage that actually caught. Maybe I have more footage than I think, but according to my phone, I was only able to get those like 1 minute recordings. But maybe they're a little bit longer, the ones that actually came off the drone. That could totally save this whole video. But in this price range, unfortunately, there's just a lot of drones that are honestly a little bit better. You really need a gimbal in this price range. So it's gonna be hard for me to recommend this drone. I am gonna be putting a link that Snaptain gave me for this video. If you guys wanna buy this drone, it is going to be in the description down below. Use your best judgment. You guys know I've done reviews of probably 50 different drones on this channel and tons of RC cars. You guys have to be the ones to decide what you spend your money on at the end of the day. I am just here to show you guys how good or bad all of these different products are. So that's it for this video. Like I said, if you guys want to pick this drone up, there's going to be a link in the description down below. If you guys want to go check out some of my other videos on drones, I'm going to put a link to that on the top of the screen here. A lot of really great drones in there for you guys to check out. That's it though. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.